me and Aldi. Oh, hey, Sparkle Bill. This thing's supposed to start, but it loading. Reloading. Ugh.
Yo.
Hello, it looks like we're still stuck on the loading screen at 84%.
Yeah. Someone's connection must have dropped out, I suppose, because, I mean, according to the tournament manager, it says it started.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I guess I'll close down Discord so we don't have audio issues, but if you can monitor that. I guess we just wait until it starts. I don't know. Maybe I can go into Tournament Manager and do something there.
Well, I have it open. It just says, I mean, it just says it started. I would think that it has to be on your end. Like, I think this is a problem with you.
Oh, I checked. In the other stream, they're seeing the same thing.
Oh, they are?
Yep. And I can go ahead and exit out of this and see, or can I just do a reload refresh the screen here?
I mean, that would mean that it's been stuck like that for 5 minutes for them, yeah?
Yeah, I wonder, can we close the game down? Let me see here. I'm not sure what to do in this situation.
I mean, none of them have responded to your message in their group.
Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. That's weird that they were... Okay, I guess it was on both of our end. But okay, let me go behind the dealer here.
Maybe it was because the two of you clicked it at the same time.
Right. So are you just going to watch this on the stream?
Yeah. I'm watching it on Twitch.
Okay, so I guess you're going to be a little bit behind me, so we're going to have to deal with that. But I guess that's the best we can do until we can get squad streaming or something. But anyway, Zenku here, starting out with what looks like a pretty excellent hand with
oh my god,
triple Dora, and some nice starting out 2 away. Oh, well, this is the end of the first row. So let me take a look at other people's hands. I don't think anyone really is competing with it still. Maybe Yuki has 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2. Yeah, Yuki is closer to Tenpai, but it's just a cheap hand in comparison. So we'll see if Zenku or if Brittany Jap manages to draw like the 8-pin or something.
Yeah, and the 8-pin really would be the ideal draw. Would also get to Tenpai with that. Right. But it's waiting on that Kanchan. I still would have insta-Ricci.
Yeah, definitely. I would have hit Ricci there because, what else? I wonder, is she going to drop the 9-7 here, maybe? No, just staying in. So I'm not sure exactly what... waiting to draw the 6, I guess, to upgrade this. I don't know if there's anything else, aside from maybe getting a single weight on the 9, maybe?
Yeah, I think this is absolutely a situation where you have to insta-Ricci. I mean, you can't win on wrong.
Yeah.
And see, this is what happens.
Yeah, here we go. This is what I was expecting. Dropping the 9-7. But I don't know, why not drop the 9-7 for this Nobiton? That would be a thing to do. because yeah, like the 4, 5, 6, 7 dropping the 9, you can then, is that still that wouldn't be Ishanten, would it? Or would it be? No, that still wouldn't be Ishanten because of the 2 pairs here. So yeah, maybe it was a good move not to take that in comparison to this.
Yeah, I mean that was a pretty wonderful upgrade, pulling in another 6-mon. But
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, and here's the 8. Oh. Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, this was a situation where it's just so hard to do anything with this hand in order to get back into Tenpai some other way, having just the 7-9 and nothing else. Oh. Well, this is pretty amazing.
wow. Yeah, that was an extreme stroke of good fortune, because I mean that hand, not calling Insta Ricci, I think was an issue. And then, like, because what happens when you don't Insta Ricci good hands like that is you end up stuck having to move around everywhere. But luckily for Brittany Jap, no one else was really able to get to anything.
Right, and a small comment there: if Brittany Jap had Rishi'd and sumoed, that would have been a Hanemon. So
yeah,
it's a bit of a lost opportunity there. Even though they got really lucky getting that sumo there. Yeah, I think that there was too much. Even though the Kanchan waiting on the 8 is not great, like I think you just have to take it in that situation. But yeah, I think we've probably said enough about that, though.
And starting out here, it looks like Brittany Jap and Yuki have the nicest hands to start. Brittany Jap able to call on this white dragon,
right,
if she wants. Yeah, now has 5 blocks. So is two Shanten. And then Yuki over there has 1, 2, 3. I mean, is Yuki Ishanten?
Apparently, Tenpai apparently.
Oh yeah, with the 4-mon. Yeah, we really need to get these new numbers off.
Oh, I'm very sorry. I meant to do that.
We can do it between games.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I was even thinking about that like yesterday. I just totally forgot.
But it is waiting on the 3 and the 6. That is Pinfu.
Oh yes, that is. I was thinking. Yeah, I didn't get a close look there. I was thinking that was like a Shampoo weight, but yeah, that's just looks like a Pinfu only hand. It's taking that early Ricci. No issues there.
And Brittany Jap pushing.
Yeah, just not wanting to lose this dealership, I guess. And this hand is reasonably okay to. Well, I mean, it's just a one-on hand, but in terms of being able to complete and keep this dealership going.
Yeah, the thing that I would be scared about if I were Brittany Jap is just the inability to see any Dora.
Yeah, that's very spooky. Yuki could have a triple of Dora over here. Could be anything. But with the early Ricci, that makes it maybe not quite as scary. Not much time to pull in red 5s and Dora and stuff like that into the hand, so it would have had to start with them basically.
Yeah, the earlier the Ricci, the cheaper the hand tends to be, but that's not always the case.
Yeah.
We've all been hit by those first row Bymans out of nowhere.
Definitely. Yeah, it's whether or not the risk is worth it.
And then this time, Brittany Jap being dealt a beautiful shape in Peen, and then horrible shapes in Monin. So
yeah, and there's not even like a Sanshoku possibility with those here, But it's getting these Haku. It's 2 white dragon. And
was the second white dragon drawn after the first white dragon was discarded, or did she pass on the opponent?
I'm actually not sure, but I'm going to guess that this was drawn afterwards because I don't imagine it would have been passed on. But I'm not sure.
Okay, and then a lot of terminals in Watora's hand. I mean that, yeah. maybe trying to keep or was perhaps keeping Chanta alive, now has a little bit more going on in Peen. And then Outsin.
Yeah, Outsin has a very, very fast looking hand here.
Yeah, I really like all those shapes.
Mm-hmm.
Is Ishanten? Yes. 1, 2. Yeah. Needs a pair, I guess, is the big problem for Outsin. So might be 2 Shanten without a pair.
Right, and it has a possibility to go simples, but has these sequences near the end that kind of ruin that a little bit.
And doesn't want to discord. Nobody wanting to discard the Dora Hatsu yet.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and Outsin just completed a sequence there.
That's fascinating to me. Pulled in the 1 Peen and then discarded their Ryanmen shape to grasp desperately onto the Dorohatsu. And it's not like anybody at this point. Everybody is starting with different scores, so
right.
They are not starting equal to begin out the finals. However, no one is far enough behind to need value so desperately, I think, to make that sort of decision.
Right, and I wonder if Outsid may be concerned about giving someone a triple of Dora Hatsu, because just having a bit of a lead in terms of second place, doesn't want someone to steal second.
Yeah, and Yuki now waiting on the 1, 4, and 7 so, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and it looks like Yuki has gotten... Oh, no, that's 7, 8, 9 there. So this is a... hold on. So has Brittany Chap started folding here?
Yeah, most of these draws have been just draws of save tiles. So it's kind of hard to tell. I think perhaps more of a Mawashi situation.
Yeah. Just really, really not wanting to give up this dealership.
And Watora has been pushing, although kind of abandoned a little bit after drawing the 5 Peen, not wanting to toss the 5 Peen into the Ricci.
Right.
Yeah, Outfin trying to safely get to Tenpai as well. But the Yuki Sumos.
Yeah. Yuki going for these pretty small hands, just trying to make solid small point hands. Okay, let's move over to the dealer.
Yeah, you certainly you don't typically need to force a hand to be large unless it's
right.
South 3 or South 4. You're just gonna take whatever you get.
Right.
Not gonna sacrifice too much efficiency to go out of your way, especially when Yuki's been able to build towards some pretty good weights.
Yeah, and I mean, even there's a couple things to consider. One is that it can easily reach a Mangan hand just by luck, or just the fact that you win a 3,000 point hand. That means you're going up to 26k instead of potentially going down to 18k, or someone else going up to 28k or something. So it can have a very good sort of cumulative effect to win small hands.
And Watora is already Ishanten.
Right.
Very good. Is in a very good position here. And then I mean, everyone else obviously not that fast. It's hard to keep up with someone who's Ishanten on turn 2.
Right. And unfortunately, a Ricci only hand, and it probably isn't going to.
Well, not necessarily Ricci only. That is a hand that could very easily become Sananko.
Oh yeah, you're right. If you happen to draw one of those pairs and do a triple,
the 3 mon, the 9 mon, or the 8 so would all make that 10 pi for 3 concealed triplets.
Right, and then Ricci and get people to fold, and then you sumo the Sananko. It's a decent chance that can happen.
Yeah, and I wonder if anybody has noticed that all of Watora's tiles have been Sumogiri so far.
Yeah, that is a bit suspicious.
Yeah, unfortunately, not great tile acceptance. Outson, as dealer, has been able to build their hand very well in the interim, as has Yuki, getting some shapes to go along with the Dora pair of Souths.
Right. I've got a question. If you saw someone Sumogiri all these tiles, like the 999 West one, so would you think that's suspicious at all? Because if I saw that, I would just think they drew tiles that don't fit into their hand because they're all terminals and honors.
So it's suspicious, especially with that first discard being the 3-0. I think that to me would be a signal if I noticed, which it's always harder to notice at the beginning, just because you're still trying to figure out what your hand is doing. But if I noticed, I think what I would be the most suspicious about is exactly this sort of hand, the sort of hand that's starting off very, very close to Tenpai, because that's what Sumogiri means, is your hand isn't really moving.
Right.
And assuming that it has triples in it. Like, if someone is Tenpai from the very start, and their hand does not improve all the way to the middle of the second row, the chances that they had really good shapes is very low.
Right, but you wouldn't think it might just be simples or something, though? Like, I guess with the 3-so is a bit suspicious, but anyways, I didn't mean to change to divert commentary from the rest of the hands there.
Yeah, and I don't know about that Rishi from Brittany Jap. I think maybe it is feeling invincible, because that was a pretty horrific weight there to choose someone else's Rishi on.
Oh, and Yuki having a pretty bad looking hand. I guess at least he can call it a chun there.
Yeah, I don't think that hand is quite as bad as it looks. All of the tiles, other than those honors, are attached to each other in some.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it does have the chun, and it's got the 7-8 and the 4-6-8 and the 3-3. So yeah.
And Brittany Jap also has been dealt some good shapes here, especially considering that they incorporate the Dora 5-peen.
Right. Yeah, it looks like that's a nice 2-away hand there. And maybe is it 1 away now? It's a bit hard for me to figure this out. We'll see if
Are you trying to figure out how far away Brittany Jap is?
Yeah, I kind of give up on it because I'm too lazy.
Fair enough.
It's when the hand is upside down, it kind of gets to me.
And Outson has called a pretty early Rigi here, waiting on the 6-peen. Just the Kanchan way. It's Rigi only, but does have Dora 1. No other guy. So I guess not Rigi only. Rigi Dora 1.
Yeah, and that seems pretty viable given the score situation. Just moving into a significant second place in South 1. It's not too bad.
It is pretty fascinating, though. All of the 6-peen are in people's hands.
Yep, that's unfortunate. Yeah, and yeah, that probably is a concern that there were no peen at all discarded, but just the fact that it was so early motivated that Ricci, I think.
Yeah, that was absolutely an early Ricci. Also, there were 2 peens discarded, which I feel like is pretty average for turn 5. I mean,
oh yeah, there's 2 right in front of me. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell on turn 5 what the situation is when most of the tiles discarded are going to be terminals and honors. Anyway,
Watora and Yuki so far discarding mostly safe Mon tiles here.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, trying to push this along. Watora obviously pushing as dealer was able to incorporate that Dora has the double east.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of hand you'd want to push.
Right.
Especially against an early Uchi, since those do tend to be worse weights.
Right, and I wonder, we can't really see any Dora or anything, so it is a little bit scary. Yeah, so I wonder, would you push as much as Watora is pushing here against the Ricci?
I mean, it's a 3-Han hand as dealer. 3-Han hands as dealer is as good as a Mongon.
Right.
So I would expect, especially since there are no Akka, there are no red 5s here.
Yep.
That, you know, Watora probably has just about the best hand at the table.
Right. So the fact that this is an early Ricci also kind of implies that it's probably not, for one thing, the weight might not be as good, and also it may not be as valuable.
And Yuki and Brittany Jap have also entered Tenpai here. Yuki waiting on the 3 Mon, the 8 Peen, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Yeah, the 3 Mon or the 8 Peen.
Yuki might deal in here with a 6 Mon, but no.
Watora was able to upgrade their weight. And Yuki probably does have a sense that people are Tenpai around the table.
Right. Yeah, Yuki's position is a little bit precarious with regards to the positioning, but definitely doesn't want to deal in just to avoid being in no 10. Let's see here. Oh, Yuki having a pretty nice looking hand.
Yeah, Yuki does have a very nice looking hand. Everyone else kind of bogged down by honors, but we'll see how their hands progress.
Yeah, Outsin might get some lucky draws and be able to make use of these Doro over here. But yeah, Yuki definitely is the one who has massive advantage in terms of being able to complete the hand.
Yeah, Yuki's draw is just getting better.
Yep.
Then, let's see, and Brittany Jap is 2, well, I say 2 away. Has all of the peen tiles except for the 3 peen and the 8 peen.
Right.
So 2 away from a pure straight in that sense, but is 2 away in, you know, the classical Mahjong sense.
Yeah, that's, I feel like I get in that situation a lot of being 2 away from the full straight, but it's very rare to actually complete it.
And Watora in a pretty tough spot here has 4 9-so, and when you have a con of say 3 Mon or 3-so, right, something more towards the middle, it's very easy to hold off on calling con because you can build other shapes with that 4th tile of the number. But here it being a 9-so and you already having the 6 and the 8-so, that extra 9 really doesn't do anything for you. So holding off on that con can be a lot more difficult in that situation. And now Yuki waiting on the 1 or 4, 1 or 4 peen.
And Brittany Jap has both of those, but not going to drop either of them probably. I can see Watora might drop this 4, possibly pushing to, but this hand, compared to last hand, not really worth that much, but could potentially come out right now.
And Brittany Jab calling Ricci, waiting on the 1-so or 4-so.
Right.
With and chasing again with just Ricci Dora 1, but this time has a much better weight than with the last chase.
Oh, sorry, I think I was a little confused there. All right, so.
And this is always a tough situation for Allison and Watora here, having to try and either pushing or folding against 2 Riccis are both very hard.
Oh, still holding on to that 4 peen. Okay.
Yeah, that 4 peen especially, it looks like a really dangerous tile. Honestly, for both of the Richis.
リーチ、ツモ、ドラ猫。
Pretty Jap sumos before Yuki can pull anything in.
Yeah, looking pretty good for Brittany Jap in this game. It's only South 1, so we don't know. We can't say for sure, but
keeps on chasing and keeps on getting rewarded for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that can easily turn around. There's a whole nother round to go here. A whole nother side to go. And that's a nice draw. Connecting to that 5 there.
Since you are a little bit ahead, I'll always say the name of the tile you're talking about. It'll be hard to figure out exactly what draw you're talking about.
Okay. Understood. Yeah, Yuki actually getting some very good first couple of draws here. Just drawing I believe it was 6-0 to get this, the 6, 7, 7, 8.
An Outsin opening on the west is going to need a couple more calls to make that hand work.
Yeah. I think that Yuki's hand here may complete before any of these calls can lead to a complete hand.
Yeah, Yuki is Ishanten, so.
Oh, and there we go.
リーチや。
And yeah, and both Watora and Brittany Jap have the Parachun there. But at this point, it probably doesn't matter that much.
Yeah, and Watora opened that hand, obviously going for a Honitsu, and even if the Honitsu doesn't come, can kind of count on getting either the East or the Chun. Oh, but decides to just steal it instead. That's fine.
Yep. Yeah, that hurts. That really hurts. So that is a big game changer for Yuki right there.
In Watora's defense, I guess the Tuso probably would have been a better discard there, at least during the Apatsu turn. If you're gonna push, I feel like pushing against the dealer. I want to wait until it's not the Apatsu turn. I might ruin my hand for one turn and try to rebuild it later.
Right.
Since that Apatsu, I mean, in this case, added 5K, 6K onto the score.
I don't think that was much of a defense. You said in Watora's defense. It sounded more like a criticism.
Oh, I was going to say in Watora's defense, I said not the thing that I started out saying. Watora did not. Watora only had one save tile.
Right. Yeah, that's a hard decision to make. Like, do you want to take this risk? Do you want to ruin your hand to avoid Ipatsu or not? Like, because it also goes the reverse way. Like, if you decide you're going to put down a tile, you're kind of taking all the future risks that you're going to take as a result of that. Like, you're going to keep on putting down dangerous tiles. So the reverse of that is if you dismantle your hand for the Ipatsu, then you can't take any more risks after that. So you're kind of, it's a tough situation.
And Yuki and Brittany Jap here both have 4 pairs. Brittany Jap's 4th pair is actually a triplet of Forsto. But Brittany Jap's hand much more easily converted into just normal non-Chitoi hands than Yuki's. So we'll see if that gives her an advantage in Tenpai here.
Yeah, one of these really ambiguous hands with 4 pairs that can easily become Pimpu or Toi Toi or Chitoi or whatever, just based on like one draw. It can send it one direction or another. Oh, and Yuki opening. Thinking either Toi Toi or just a hand with Chun, probably.
Yeah, I would. Either way works. I would assume kind of counting on the Chun.
Right.
Is how you end up playing that. Is just to make sure you can incorporate that Dora into your hand. I think if the 5 peen were to come out of Watora's hand, that you would take it.
Right. I do wonder if the possibility of Toy influenced the decision to open there.
Yes, and also it being halfway through the second row, being dealer,
Yeah.
you'd like to play some catch up with Brittany Jap. You don't quite want to release your dealer turn yet.
Right. Yeah, just getting into Tenpai may be a concern also. Like,
yeah, and Brittany Jap waiting on the 5 and 8. So,
and the prophecy has been fulfilled here with that 5 pin being called.
Oh, that was a very interesting discard. I wonder. I guess I don't know if the tune is all that much safer than the 8-mon there.
Right. I think the was the 8-mon like the Suji to the Ricci.
It was not Suji, but Brittany Jap had tossed some various Mon tiles, and discarding the 8-mon would have put Yuki Tenpai being able to win on the tune. So I think was probably just taking a defensive action there and hoping to just get Tenpai for Tanyao.
So this situation that Brittany Jap is in is kind of fun if she's deciding to go for a Honitsu here. Can try and also go for like Shosangen or Daisangen just for fun.
Yeah, and with the lead that Brittany Jap has, I don't think I would have gone for Honitsu here.
Uh-huh.
I would have, especially having very good middle tiles in So with and having the pair of Hatsu that you assume you're going to be able to call. Like I would have preferred to just get a quick hand. Maybe tack on a couple more 1,000 onto my points and not slow my hand down the way that going for Honitsu is going to slow this hand down. Although it looks like she might not be clutching onto Honitsu quite as much anymore.
Right. Yeah, it looks like going to try and make use of this pair of 4-mon here.
Is Ishanten.
Needs to draw specifically draw the 4, the 3.
And Yuki Tenpai waiting on the 7-so or the 8-mon. Ye old Chanpon wait.
Right. Very, very nice upgradable pair of Champon.
Yeah, the best upgrade being either the 9-mon or the 4-mon, which Yuki just drew. That was not what I was expecting. I was expecting a discard of the 8-mon, E Tenpai with North and Pure Straight.
Right.
And it would have actually been a 3-sided weight for that Pure Straight, winning on the 3, 6, or 9. But Yuki deciding to drop the 7-so and push this into a Honitsu.
Yeah, he really wants some more value here, trying to get first place, I guess.
Yeah, I think I would have taken the 3-sided weight to really establish myself in second.
Yeah, that's the decision here, is either to move the game along and secure a little bit of a bigger lead, or to aim for first specifically. Or I guess it also will give you a bigger lead in second. Oh, and entering into Tenpai. And that's exactly what he wanted to happen there.
Yeah, want to win off of Brittany Jap.
But that's still a pretty small hand.
Yeah, it only added one more Han, getting the half flush as opposed to the Honitsu. And if Brittany Jap had been, I think, paying closer attention, probably would have just folded against a more obvious Honitsu. And it is worth pointing out, the Pure Straight would have been sumoed about 4 turns earlier when the 9-mon was drawn. So
right. I wonder if do you think that Yuki may have been specifically targeting Brittany Jap there somehow?
I think Yuki would have won off of anyone who discarded a winning tile there. Like, it was not a big enough hand that hitting Brittany Jap specifically is actually going to do all that much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still 15k behind.
Right. I wonder if maybe he had some idea that we're not really considering here.
And Alison is already Ishanten. Has a very good hand here as dealer, which is definitely what they wanted.
Yeah, this is a very very fast looking hand. Not that valuable, but yeah.
Would like to maybe pull in something next to that Dora and then toss away one of the other shapes and kind of move sideways into a more valuable Ishanten. But I imagine if they draw into Tenpai that they'll just toss the Dora out.
Right, and they might even be having an idea that there's a possibility of Sanshoku here, although it's very unlikely. To say draw the 6-mon, draw the 6-pin.
Although 2 of the 6-pin are already gone.
Oh, right. Well, there's still 2 left.
And let's see, Brittany Jap, once again having a hand that is developing. Yuki is Ishanten. As well, has 2 Ryamen weights, and completing either one will get Yuki to Tenpai. Yeah. And then with Tora, those Manzu are kind of making me go cross-eyed. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Yeah, there's a pair. Okay, Watora is also Ishanten.
Yeah, that's good.
In a very similar situation to Yuki, has 2 Ryamen weights, and completing either one of them will.
Right, it could easily end up with a Kanchan weight, but it could set up a Suji trap.
Watora?
Yeah, with the 357.
Oh, that's a 357. I thought that 7 was a 6. I'm gonna be real with you there.
It's hard to see him from the side.
Yeah, and the little red thing is like right where I should have noticed that it looked like the 6 was chopped in half, but. And Allison did in fact draw another Dora and ditched the 9-so pair, got a new pair, and could call all simples now. Would pawn either the 7-mon or the 5-pin to make that happen.
Right. Oh. Got a different pawn there. And so yeah, did Outson end up getting into it? Looks like he never got into Tenpai here.
Yeah, and Brittany Jap waiting on the 5-pin, the 8-pin, or the 4-so. Classic 3-sided weight and 2 suits.
Yeah.
And with Tora Tenpai waiting on the 1-mon or 5-so, and yep, and we're just going into exhaustive here.
Yeah.
Outsin were able to get to Tenpai.
Yeah, that's so surprising that Outsin ended up in no 10 there.
It had very wide acceptance, just couldn't get it to complete.
And oh yeah, Watora going into South 4 in a very bad position here. This hand looks okay-ish. Thinking about calling the 1-pin here? I'm not sure. Maybe a little desperate.
Brittany Jap was probably the one thinking about that. Could have cheated the one.
That's right. Okay.
Counting on winning with the West. And to satisfy a promise I made earlier to update the spreadsheet as soon as they finish, I'm gonna cheat and look at the ending score so that they are able to look at the scores in our score spreadsheet.
Yeah, I expect that Outsin might end this hand early. Oh, and Brittany Jap opening up. Expecting to get the West. So could get those West and also end the hand early in second place. And Yuki. Oh, Yuki having a reasonably... Having that some Kanchan shapes in there, not the best. Let's see, how close is Outsin now? 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 8, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6. I think Outsin is still a couple away. it can very quickly progress into Ishanten and a Tenpai here, and could open up for simples. But can't. The idea of getting a placement change is very, very difficult. Would have to get like hit Yuki with like a Hanemon basically, in order to get a placement change.
Yeah, if you're Outson here, with last place being the dealer, and with you being less than a Mangon away from last place,
right?
I feel like I might try and rush a hand, perhaps, just to unseat Watora as dealer into the game. Keep yourself in third, especially because Outson went in with a lead.
Right.
Started out with the most points, had a head start, so to speak.
Right.
So a third would not be the end of the world for Outson.
Yeah, and Watora would really like to hit Ricci here, I think. Is in Ishanten, right? Is this Ishanten? Maybe not.
Is absolutely Ishanten, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 9, 9. Okay, yeah, could get a weight on this 8 here probably, but it's so late. I wonder if Watora would just go into Dama here.
I doubt it. With the deficit, I feel like if I'm Watora with the Tenpai, I am calling Ricci no matter how late it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, it costs 1,000 points, but that's absolutely. Here's the Ipatsu.
No!
So we're actually going to see a placement change here.
I can't believe Outson tossed that 8 pin out there. Like, I guess it's one of those situations where you say to yourself, it was safe last turn. Oh, and Watora hit the Ura.
Yeah, that is massive. Now Watora has a chance for second place.
Absolutely.
And this is a nice hand to be seeing in this position. Could easily get a Menton pin, a simples Ricci Pinfu, hit a Mangan, happen to hit Yuki with it, and steal second. That could easily happen.
You do not even need to hit Yuki with a Mangan. Any Mangan would do. As dealer, 12,000 points.
Oh, you're correct. I'm dumb. Yeah, it's a dealer Mangan. Yes. But would need to get the Mangan for that, which it would require a bit of luck.
Yeah, actually, hitting Brittany Jack with a Mangan would put Watora in first because of the Onba. Those extra 600 points would make the difference there.
Yes, this is pretty exciting. And Yuki has a bunch of pairs over here.
Yeah, and this is where having Dora and hitting Uradora with a Ricci matters so much in these games. Out red 5s is a dealer Hanuman is just so huge, and Outson with a very quick Ricci waiting on these 6 and 9.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, like, but Outson doesn't really have any hope here. It seems like, except to get a few more points.
Yeah, that I don't know whether I would have called the Ricci there. I probably would have. I think in this sort of tournament setting, you have to play to try and change your position if you're in last at the very least.
Right.
If you're in third, trying to prevent things from continuing on, I think is good. But a last can be pretty devastating to your points.
Well, let me go and do this right now while I'm thinking of it. We'll go in here.
Switch the numbers.
Where do I do it? In others? In preference? Here we go. Okay. And I think that's changed now. Did it save that?
Yeah,
okay,
it also.
All right,
so now, just to give a peek at the standings, going into the second Hanchan of finals, Brittany Jap is in the lead with 46.1 points. Yuki is in second with 28.1 points. Watora is in third with 8.2 points. And Outson is in last with negative 13.4. Even though Outson took a pretty big hit in that last game, definitely was helped out by having an 8-point lead on second place going into the finals. So nobody is out of this yet by any means, for sure.
Right. Yeah. And Outson, if Outson gets first place in these last 2 games, there's no question that he'll be in first place. Well, I guess there's some question that he might not beat out Brittany Jap or something, but you know what I mean.
Right. That is a big thing to say, because like if either Yuki or Zenku got second in both of those games, I think that would make it less cut and dry.
Right.
But a couple of very interesting hands here to start. Yuki is two Shanten very early for this two Shanten, has some pretty nice shapes. Would probably rather not have the pair of Wests and the pair of 5-so, but those 5-so can easily be upgraded.
Right.
And Brittany Jap as well, with a very fast hand.
But yeah, Outson may still be able to outrace them just being open if Watura hands over some tiles to Chion. But no door or anything, just Yakuhai only hand. But yeah, Outson.
Ooh, that 7 was huge. Is now Ishanten. And that's interesting. Tossed away the 4-6 Kanchan.
Oh, now Outson in Tenpai. On this 1-han hand. And dealing. Right? Just gonna take it.
Yep. Immediately gets it from Brittany Jap.
Just ending Yuki's dealership right away. And not too consequential hand there. Outson just trying to move the game along with a teeny tiny lead. And getting the double east here. Very, very big advantage that Brittany Jap has here early on, and getting a nice draw there as well.
Yeah, and started with a Dora, and it's always hard to integrate those terminal Dora. So being able to incorporate that 9-mon into the hand right from the get-go is pretty huge. Yuki starting out with a pair of Dora, which is nice because anytime you have a pair of them, they are already integrated into your hand, and you don't need any other tiles.
Right. But yeah, this is a very nice hand to have as dealer. Just a cheap 3-han hand that gets pushed up to 8,000 points due to your dealership. And I expect this will be the hand that wins, just because it's so fast and also can be called on.
Now, Watora has an interesting hand. Is still two Shanten over there,
right?
But has such wide acceptance.
Right, 2-2-2-3, 1-1-3. So could you explain it? I'm not sure how I see how this has like really wide acceptance. Like, I guess because
they're all complex shapes. I guess like it's not. I say wide acceptance. It's not as wide as if they were all Ryeonman weights.
Right.
But anytime all of the weights are complex,
right,
that's still better than average. Usually you're stuck with, like with what Brittany Jap has, where good shapes, but then you have, a couple of tiles that just have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
Right. And now ending up on a single weight here.
So it's funny, Don Lappa asked for the tiles annotation, which we just turned off. So Don Lappa, we turned it off because it makes it really hard for us to see, to read the tiles across the table and on the sides sometimes, because the numbers cover up the tiles. But if you want to be able to see the numerals on all the tiles, we can turn that on between the second and third matches.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's the reason I had them on was for like accessibility purposes. But oh
no, that's a 7. I was about to say Watora Tenpai with Sanko here.
Oh really? Oh, I didn't even see this. Oh my god.
Waiting on the 5-mon or 8-mon.
And yeah, so 2 people waiting on the Oh, and Zeppu is just Sanko. I wonder why there was no Ricci there.
To allow the upgrade to Suanko.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which we should be better about that. Sananko is 3 concealed triplets, and Suanko is 4 concealed triplets.
Right.
3 concealed triplets is 2 Han, which is a very good hand, which is nice.
Yeah.
But Suanko, 4 concealed triplets, is a Yakuman. So
Right.
being able to hit a Yakuman in a tournament game would be pretty legit.
Yeah, I guess what I would be thinking of is if I Ricci, that just increases the possibility that I Sumo. But I guess I wasn't seeing that there were 3 complete triplets there, which is why I asked that. Because then Ricci doesn't really give you that that possibility, that stronger chance to upgrade that you would get from drawing the third.
It was already 3 concealed triplets
Right.
with a common weight.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing to have. And you don't get any upgrade for that. But like you get for the single weight Suanko.
And we have another turn here where the dealer has started out with the double east.
Right, yeah, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, having the east worth 2 Han and also being dealer so it's worth additional makes that such a valuable Yakuhai. But you really need one more Han to make it extra special. And I wonder if there's the idea of getting a Sanshoku here.
It is definitely possible with this hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because calling either 6 here and dropping the 6-0 would give a Tenpai that allows for Sanshoku, which would be the 3 Han that makes it worth 8k instead of just like 4k, so doubling the value of the win.
In Yuki making a call to speed up his hand, on the assumption that final tune will come out at some point.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot in this game. In this game and last game, people making those calls, assuming that they'll get the Yakuhai, which is something that I rarely do myself.
And if it comes to it, Yuki could also transition that into a Tanyao. And let's see, Brittany Jap calling with a Shenpon right here, waiting on the 7-mon or 9-peen.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately gets chased by Outsen, who is waiting on the 1-so or 4-so, and has Pinfu with a chance at Tanyao. So the 4-so would be worth more to Outsen than the 1-so would.
But he gets the 1-so, unfortunately. He gets an Ura. A small number of points.
And gets Brittany Jap's Ricci stick, which is not insignificant. Getting that extra 1,000 points is pretty handy.
Yeah, especially when the scores are this close. That makes it a pretty big difference, potentially.
Especially if you're Outsen, being in first, you really don't want a second in this game. You want a first, see where things stand after this game, and then you're putting yourself in the best possible position to make that comeback after the unfortunate first round.
Right. I think what Outsen really wants is to get first here, and for Brittany Jap or Yuki to do badly, or ideally for them to get third and fourth, and that would really make Outsen's position better.
Yeah, a 100% flipped order would make the final Hanchan pretty exciting for us.
Yeah, yeah, make it all up in the air. Well, I mean, it's also exciting when you have like an underdog who needs to get a really big win. But,
and both Brittany Jap and Outsen here kind of clutching on to these Dora Easts.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Matora already Tenpai. Did not call Ricci because it is a bad weight, but sumoed it immediately anyway.
Yeah, that happens, yeah. Yeah, I guess, Outsen was really hoping to get that Dora East as a dealer. Would be pretty massive.
Yeah, that'd be huge. And we didn't have time to look at Watora's hand a lot. I think the main reason Watora Damad that hand could have very easily been upgraded to a pure straight. Only needed a 1-mon.
Yeah, and Outsen going for a cheap Honitsu here. Well, 3 Han Honitsu. I wonder... if it had been you and you were dealer and you had the Dora East, would you have dropped it right away, or how long would you have kept it for?
As dealer, I would hold on to it for a bit. If I was Brittany Jap, I would have dropped it round 1.
Right.
And you said a cheap Honitsu with 3 Han with the tune. This could be a Toy Honitsu.
Oh, let's see here. 2. Oh, you're right. I didn't really see that this was a pair of 2s here. Yeah. So potentially could be a Toy that upgrades it to a Mangang. And if you get the red 5.
There is no red 5.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm never going to learn that. We need to have a tournament where there is red 5. That's the only solution.
Watora once again Dama, waiting on the 6 pin, cannot win it currently.
Oh, a con on the 2.
Oh wow,
that's a bit surprising to me.
Yeah, I don't think I would have called that con. Outsen does not need extra Dora right now. Is in the lead. I feel like if anything, you're putting yourself kind of in more danger than you need to at that.
I feel like that runs a bit counter to how Outsen has been playing, which is why I find that especially surprising. Oh, and I wonder, gonna push here on this Honitsu or putting down the East? Maybe just a bit of Moashi there.
Right. I feel like that 8 pin is going to end up coming out of Outsen's hand.
We'll see.
If there is not a sumo earlier.
Oh, and drops the 1-so. So maybe is going to fold here.
Yeah, that's true. Could call pawn on the 3-so or 4-so, and would be Tenpai waiting on the 7 pin, which would be just fine.
Right, yeah, that could be the plan. Oh, and the 9 comes out. That is, that 8 might come out next.
Mm-hmm. Drawing that 8-so is sort of a death sentence for Outsen.
Oh, it's going to come out. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, Chi, I assume, on the 9-so, and then dropping the 8 pin.
Yep. That, at least it was a pretty cheap hand, but it does change the positioning. But at least that is the person who Outsen would rather be in first.
Absolutely.
Let's see here. Looks like just got a few pairs here. I feel like we've seen a lot of hands that have 3 pairs.
I feel like most hands have 3 pairs at some point.
Maybe
I don't know. I'm just talking about them. I don't know the stats on that.
We could do some analysis. Oh wow, Yuki's hand's looking very nice over here. It's got that kanchan, but aside from that, looks very nice.
Yeah, got a Nobitan, got a pair. Is Ishanten already? Ishanten turn 2 is very hard to complain about.
Yep. Is that actually... That's Tenpai waiting on the 6.
It is Tenpai, actually. For some reason, I was assuming holding on to that Nobitan, which doesn't make sense. But yeah, is Tenpai waiting on the 6 pin?
Yeah. Well, I think that Yuki spent a long time there deciding whether to keep the kanchan weight or to go with the Nobitan and to move back 1 shanten, move into Ishanten.
Yeah, I feel like that was a very good Dama to take, though. The 5-7 is just so easy to upgrade.
Right.
I mean, it only took 2 turns.
Yeah, I think either way would have been fine, but yeah, probably better to just stick with Tenpai.
Mm-hmm. Ricci, Penfu, Dora 1. Yeah, and Watora, that 6-so, I think, doing a little bit of, not sure if it's going to be a full fold or a Mawashi yet, but has yet to lay down the D-Lin tiles at the very least, and they do not work in Watora's hand at all, so.
Oh, Sumo. Yeah, that 6 looking very dangerous, especially, I think. Alright, very nice. Very close scores. So anything can happen here. Oh, and I wonder what Watora will do here. Gonna go for a Honitsu? Maybe stay undecided on that.
Ooh, yeah. There's a couple different ways that this hand could go. I probably would have discarded the 8-so first rather than the 9-so.
Right.
To keep Chanta alive. To that way go for either Chanta or Honitsu, and pick up your mind later based on what you draw.
Yeah, Chanta would be worth so much here. getting either Chanta or Honitsu or anything to get that extra Han and push it up to 8K.
It doesn't need it though. I mean, any win will work, and especially if Watora is able to call the Souths, I imagine that would instantly be gobbled up to add one more Han.
Yeah, and Outsin opening up for a Yakuhai hand over there. Just trying to get a few points.
Yeah,
that would send it into South 4.
Why did Outsin discard the 5 so?
Going for Toy Toy.
Okay, that seems very pushy in a very unnecessary way to me. And we never even talked about Yuki's hand. I mean, Yuki was dealt all Mon tiles.
I feel like what Outsin was thinking was because it's South 3 and because a one Han hand wasn't going to give him first place, he wanted higher value.
A one Han hand would have taken Outsin from 3rd to 2nd though, and Outsin's the final dealer. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan of tossing away a complete shape to go for a toy.
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta follow your heart. Is it annoying? Do you find it annoying when I say something like that?
Yeah, I hate that sort of stuff. You did that on purpose too. I know you know that I hate that sort of stuff. Let's see. Oh God, Yuki has a really great hand over there.
Yeah. That looks like it's going to complete any moment now. He just needs to get those chun to really speed that up. And everyone's hand here looks pretty good though.
All right, I once again am going to look at the results so I can update the spreadsheet.
Okay.
For them.
Oh, and Yuki pulling in the 4-pin, using that as his pair, counting on pawning the chun there. So I think that puts him into. Does that put him into Ishan 10? I believe it does. Oh, and Richi from Outsin, waiting on the 5-8. So that's just going to be a Pingpu Dora. But that would, I don't think that's enough to get first place. Maybe with a Sumo, that'll take first place, or with Ura or something. We'll see if that 5-8 comes out.
Let's see, who called Ricci? Outsin Ricci.
And just one on the 8-pin. See if he can manage to steal first place with that. Not quite.
Yeah, we would have needed some aura. Yeah. Ura or
Sumo would have been good. So let's see. Oh, starting off with a triple. 7, 7, 8, 3, 8 out. A little bit lacking here.
Kind of want a wonky hand. Yeah, this is a hand where I would definitely want to pull in one of those honor tiles so that I could open this as soon as possible.
Right.
Watora gets the tune right off the bat, which is very nice for Watora. Watora will take any fast anything just to get this and prevent Outsin from taking their place. Yuki starting with the Souths, which is very nice, being in South. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised if Yuki called pawn on the 9-pin or the West. Well, actually, yeah, Yuki's going to need a little bit more than 2 Han to change positions. So I retract my former statement.
Maybe we'll clutch onto that Dora. No, we'll drop it right when I say that. Yes, the chance of drawing it seemed too low with one of them already gone.
Yeah,
I would think that when one of the Dora drops, but the rest of them don't, when it's the Haku, maybe there's a decent chance that I'll draw another one. Because no one else has it. That verifies that there isn't a pair floating out there.
It does verify that there's not a pair, at the very least. Mm-hmm. Yuki, I think, going for Chanta now.
Oh. Wanting to get, so it's... Right. Just wanting to reach you on that. Trying to get up to... Well, can steal second place pretty easily with a direct hit or a Tsumo. Getting first a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, a direct hit on Outsen would a two Han direct hit. Actually, they're only 4,000 apart.
Yeah.
Now a direct hit on Outsen would change position.
Right, and yeah, there 2,000 points would make Yuki get the better position because of seed order.
Right.
So that may actually come into play potentially.
Yeah, but now that it's a 3 Han hand, Yuki would just get it outright.
Oh, is it? Oh, because it's double south. Yes. And that deals into... Okay, so that ends the game. But doesn't change positioning at all. So
Right.
First, second, third. So, yeah, so that wasn't the ideal result for... I guess this is the ideal result for Watora.
Yeah, winning, yes, absolutely the ideal result for Watora with Brittany Jap in last, Yuki in third, and Outsen in second. That puts the positions going into the final Hanchan. Watora is in the lead now with 31.3 points. Yuki is only behind by 6.5 points. Yuki has 24.8. Brittany Jap has 16.6, and Outsen has negative 3.7.
Right. So it is anyone's game. Very dependent on the placement, specific placements.
Absolutely. Toki and Yuki, not Toki, Watora and Yuki are separated by less than 10, which means that the only thing that will decide how they place is their relative position to each other, regardless of how much they beat each other by, even if it is a tied score and it's based on seat position. Right. Whoever is in front will end up ahead out of those two, which I think is going to be the easiest way to kind of track the ordering all around here.
Right. And so for Outsen to win, basically Outsen would need to come first, and the ordering after that would need to be heavily favorable. But it isn't points dependent, though. He doesn't need like an 80k score or something like that.
No, an 80k score would do it.
Yeah,
but I think more likely than an 80k score for Outsen would be Outsen first, Brittany Jap second, Yuki third, Watora fourth.
Right. So from that, so there's a lot of strategy from that perspective of trying to get a specific placement, not just getting first place, but having everything else going according to what you want as well. So every single, even if you're folding or whatever, you could kind of do things to manipulate the game in that direction by helping one person to deal in or to win or another.
Right. In these last 10 seconds, I'm going to grab another Coke.
Sure. All right, let me... Okay, there we go. Oh, and we did not change the tile set. We had an opportunity to do that. But, I mean, I guess it's sort of like 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Like, some people are going to like it or dislike it. And if it works better for us, that's probably more important. Unless, well, I guess we could have a vote or something. But we can save that for later. Oh, and look at Watora's hand. I think that looks very good. 5-6. Yeah, I think that's a nice 2 away there. From the start, an Outsen having way too many pairs. Or not enough pairs, however you want to look at it.
One way or the other.
Yep.
6 of one dozen, half of another, as we like to say here.
Yeah, as we love to say it. Let's see. And also Brittany Jap having a pair of Chun. I think we'll be able to get that from Yuki here any second now.
Yeah, is clutching on to the the green dragon and white dragon, the Hatsu and Haku for a very long time here, and there we go. Dropped the Hatsu, dropped the green dragon.
Right. Yeah, and might also be thinking of a possible Honitsu or something like that.
Yeah. Outsin is now Ishanten.
Mm-hmm.
Could get an Ipeko. Everyone on this stream's favorite Yaku.
Right. And I didn't see that happening going into Ishanten from that starting hand. I didn't think it was going anywhere.
Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure what you were talking about when you were putting down Outsin's hand, because I thought it looked great from the beginning, but I didn't pay much attention to it. I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I think I didn't notice that. I didn't notice the potential for that to turn into just a regular hand.
I can't believe you missed an Ipeko. I feel betrayed, honestly, if I'm being 100 with you right now. Is now Tenpai.
Yep.
Can discard the 8-pin waiting on the 2-so or 5-so.
But did not take it. I'm not sure exactly why.
Me neither.
It just didn't want that Riichi only hand, I guess. Wanted to push that into simples or something, maybe.
Yeah, wanted some more value.
Yeah. Could draw the Dora 4-pin.
And that would upgrade that hand quite a bit.
So
what is Watora waiting on here? A 3, 6, or 9. A very fancy 3-sided weight Watora has. A very complex shape. And gets it from Brittany Jap.
Very nice. I'm a little bit distracted by my cat here. It's harassing me.
Princess Wickens just wants to join the stream.
I'm going to move behind the dealer here. Okay. And this hand, not looking too good.
Yeah, not an incredibly optimistic hand, but has a lot of middle tiles. There's a lot of room for this hand to grow.
Yeah, Outsin's hands looks like a good 3-away. It's very soon to become 2-away, I expect.
You know what? Everyone's got good 3-away hands. Actually, Brittany Jap's 2-shanten, actually.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yep, that 4, 5, 6 there. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That Yankan shape. Yankan and Penchan, that's a little bit, yeah. I think I like Outsin's hand better.
Oh, now it's just a hand popularity contest with you, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh. Now I need to get this cat to leave me alone.
Yeah, the stream has paused. Okay, there we go. It's back.
This is a bit much. Okay. Oh, drawing another Hatsu. Going for.
Ooh. Now we've got like a 2-and-2 lockup here.
Yeah.
Both Watora and Alcin having 2 of the green dragons is gonna freeze both of them up.
Yeah, I think, but they're both probably going to expect that it's unlikely that they'll get the third Hatsu once they leave like the first row or so. And they'll plan around not getting it.
Yeah, they can both be used as pairs for sure. Yeah. But that is going to help out both Yuki and Brittany Jap. Yuki now being, I think, Yuki is Ishanten. And Brittany Jap is still hovering around 2-shanten, is still has made some sideways movements, but no forward progress yet.
So that was interesting to me, dropping the 4-pin there instead of the 6-pin. Keeping that extra pair.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that either. Well, the idea is if you call you're still hoping to call that Hatsu.
Right.
And then discard the 2-pin to be in Tenpai.
Yeah, I guess if you discard the 6-pin there, you're basically assuming that you don't get the Hatsu, and you could easily draw it, for instance, or whatever.
Yeah, I think the 4-peen makes sense. I actually might have dropped the 2-peen instead of the 4-peen, but it's a little bit discarding the more dangerous tile early so that you can push later.
Oh, and it comes out.
And Outson calls. Does not discard the 6 though, which I think would have maybe been a more forward move. Yeah, waits a turn to discard it. So I don't know about that. I don't know about discarding the 9 and then discarding the 6. I don't know that the order there really matters. Yeah, but Yuki is waiting on the Dora, which we haven't mentioned yet.
Right. Is he just waiting on the Dora?
Yeah, the
Tuso. Dora and the
Tuso.
Tuso. So yeah, the Tuso's not bad. Had they already been? One is already gone. So
all of Yuki's tiles are in people's hands right now.
Right, and he might be thinking that he can either draw the Dora or someone will drop the last Tuso. But being in Ricci, yeah, it's a bit worrying to have a wait like that.
And then whenever someone cheese and you watch one of your tiles get eaten up in a chi, that never feels good.
Yeah.
And Outson is pushing this 2-Han hand really hard.
God. And he drops. Yep. That's the unfortunately wrong choice of the block to drop there.
Yeah, and an especially bad choice just because had the 2-3 and the 7-8 so both as droppable blocks there, and both the 7 so and the 8 so were safe against basically everybody. So the 7-8 was a much better choice, but perhaps not having a lot of time, just not recognizing that.
Well, I wonder if also he might have felt that the 6 and the 9 were more likely to drop.
That was Brittany Jap. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking for some reason I thought it was Outson.
Yeah, we were talking mostly about Outson's hand, so that I think is fair to confuse the people we were talking about. But no, I imagine just made kind of a spur of the moment decision and did not notice the 7 and 8 so lying around. Right.
You have to give me a moment. I'm gonna take this cat out of the room.
Come on, cat. Ooh, that means it's just me now. Watora is once again. Watora has been Ishanten very, very early, several times in these 3 Hanchans. Yeah, and is already Tenpai. Is Tenpai waiting on the Dora 1-mon or the 8-mon and is able to stay Dama with those green dragons. I think I like this Dama, even though it's 3 Han, and calling Ricci would upgrade it obviously to a Mangan. You already will get a Mangan if you're able to win on the 1-mon, and you kind of assume that the 1-mon is not going to come out if you call Ricci. Whereas if you have not yet called Ricci, you can definitely see someone tossing out a 1-mon
right
before that point.
And also having a relatively high, a reasonably high score, getting the possibility of upgrading to a Hanemon, it's not as desperate as that.
Yeah, and Brittany Jap actually has a pretty spectacular hand over there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Has a pretty good shot at Sanshoku at a mixed triple sequence.
Oh, and Watora just Ricci. Changed her mind, I guess, about the Ricci. Wanted to have the chance for Hanemon.
Well, I imagine
it's Mangan, right? I'm sorry, the chance for Mangan, because you were saying the third 1-mon is what would automatically upgrade it to the Mangan.
And I think too here the biggest reason to call Ricci at the end of the first row is at this point you see Yuki has made a call, has discarded a 3 and a 6,
right?
Is discarding middle tiles. The dealer is still discarding terminals, so they might not be all that much closer, but they have come from the hand. And Brittany Jap also discarding 2 middle tiles in the 4-so and the 6-mon.
Mhm.
And so now that people are kind of catching up to you, now you want to call a Ricci to try and slow their hands down.
Right.
So all in all, I think that was like good timing from Latora. I would be interested to know if any of these competitors here recognized that Watora called Ricci on a Sumo Giri tile.
Yeah, I guess I would think that if anything, you would want to Ricci while people's hands are still undeveloped if you want to slow them down.
So I guess part of what I'm saying is early on, like turns 3, 4, and 5, someone could toss out a 1-mon thinking,
oh, I see.
Right, no one's ready yet. I want to it's not being used in my hand. I want to get rid of it before it becomes dangerous.
Right.
So Watora, I think, was taking advantage of that.
Right.
That's not being the case in the second row, even if no one's called Ricci.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. Yeah.
An outsend chasing here. This is Pinfu. I could have waited around a little bit, perhaps, to see if this could have been upgraded to Senshoku. But it's not going to matter. Watora getting the sumo during outsend's Ipatsu turn. I always feel like it's very rude when someone else wins during my Ipatsu turn.
Yeah, that reverse Ipatsu. It's not the etiquette that we apply in Mahjong.
Stepping all over my game here.
Going into East 4, 2, 3. So this hand looks okay. Could be potentially turn into a simples Pinfu.
And Watora got dealt to Dora, which is huge because Watora right now has about a Mongon lead on Yuki. And if they're in first and second, it's going to be the person that wins this tournament. If they are in first and second, will be whoever's first. It does not matter what the actual points are. So I think if you're Watora, you very much would like to get more of a buffer on Yuki.
Right.
And put yourself in a position where you can kind of fold out, and as long as you're able to protect your lead.
Yeah, and so having those Dora basically limits the damage that can be done, just knowing that they're in your hand. Is that what you're saying?
Limits the damage that can be done and gives you a very easy way to increase the value of your hand.
Right.
To give yourself a buffer so that you don't have to push later on.
Right. I see.
Another thing to think about as we head towards the final 4 hands is that dealer order matters a lot as well. Yuki being the first dealer is again very beneficial to Watora because Watora, like, Yuki's not going to be able to do some big dealer comeback at the end. Watora will get their dealership after already seeing what has happened in Yuki's. So now Outsin and Brittany Jap are not out of this yet, but I think if you're Watora, you are thinking that this is your game to lose at this point.
Right. That hand is still a little bit far away, but has decided to go into simples, it looks like, unless this could potentially also just be a bluff to try and speed everybody up.
Yeah, I think that it is absolutely going for a Tanyao, especially with those Dora.
Right. Yeah. But it's really dependent on getting some tiles. Filling in these Kanchan blocks and stuff. And yeah, Yuki being able to call these Hatsu, I think definitely has the advantage here to win a 2-han hand.
Although Yuki still doesn't have a 5th shape. That 6 helps. The 6-0 actually does get Yuki to the 5th shape that he needed. Oh, but didn't keep it.
But he can very easily chi and get a single weight on the south, for instance.
That's true. Yeah. Could do a tanky weight. Perhaps that is what he is thinking.
And also, the main thing missing here is just a pair, and can easily happen to draw a pair anywhere in this, and be in a nice Ishan 10 from that.
That 6 though was a pair.
Right. So he's probably is specifically wanting to wait on one of these then. Are we having some connection issues? Can we pause the game?
Well, they haven't said anything, and this was 5 minutes ago. So.
Oh, you're right. I don't know why I was thinking. It's because we're streaming it for some reason that makes me think that it's live. But this is 5 minutes ago, so I guess it was just a really short issue there. So
yeah, it must be. Yeah, Yuki came right back. I feel like a parent. They really should have told us as soon as something happens, though.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. Yuki does decide to wait on the south there. So I think that was the plan. Seeing that one of them was already discarded, just having the feeling. Oh no, switching weight over to the 2-5.
Yeah, which is a very natural switch to make once once Outsen calls this Ricci.
Yeah, but that does make me question why he didn't drop the 6-mon, or why he did drop the 6-mon as opposed to the honors earlier, when it was much better for making a standard Yanman weight.
Ooh, that the Apatsu upgrading that to a Hanuman was huge for Outsen. If Watora comes in second, I don't know that Outsen has much of a shot at first overall.
Right.
But like being able to put yourself in a vastly, I mean that Hanuman really changed the landscape of things, and now Yuki and Brittany Jap definitely need to make things happen here.
Right. Yeah, I think that. But yeah, if Yuki draws a 2 or a 5, that really and he just drew one, so yeah, that makes the hand look a lot better. And now is still 2 away. Or no, it's 1. It's 2 away. 2 away.
It's 2 away. You're right.
But it's a nice 2 away. Anyone else have it? So
yeah. Watora the double souths.
Oh, calling the double souths there. Yeah. So that is a pretty big deal. Could expand the lead significantly.
Is incredibly far away from Tenpai though. Even with those double souths is still 2 Shanten.
Right. And maybe thinking of a Sanshoku to get up to 3 Han.
There's a lot of possibilities there. Sanshoku, a 1-2-3 mixed triple sequence, could get Chanta as well as the Sanshoku.
And is now Ishan 10 for a Chanta Sanshoku, which would be a Mangan, I believe.
Well, it can't be Chanta anymore, discarding 15, because the pair is the 17, so...
Oh, yes, you're right. My mistake. Yeah, so it's just Sanshoku.
Yuki was able to get 2 calls right in succession and just immediately sumo a Tanyao. That was pretty wild. That was a pretty good string of luck for Yuki there.
This is Yuki's last chance to break his record for 10 repeats, so we'll see if he does it.
Starting out with a very beautiful hand here.
Yep, looking pretty nice. Can just get a nice 2-Han hand here potentially. If these Haku come out, one of them comes out.
This is a time that I don't know. I guess what is correct. But I feel like I would have tossed that Green Dragon turn 1. You don't need another Yakuhai. You've already got the White Dragons. Your hand looks very fast. Value is not the entire world to you right now. You are not very far behind at all. I feel like a super fast 2-Han hand would be...
Right, and another thing I would worry about is throwing out that 2-pin as the first discard is a little spooky, isn't it? As opposed to just throwing out an honor.
What do you mean by spooky?
To the other players, they might be a little bit more concerned about that than if you just started out throwing out the Hatsu and the 1 in the north.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just seen so many people recently tossing like 2s and 8s turn 1.
Right.
That I'm not sure how spooky it really is, but
yeah, that's yeah. I guess I'm not familiar with that because I would never. That's something that I would never think to do to throw away a 2 as opposed to like an honor tile.
Yeah, well, I think there was just zero benefit to doing so, and I think there's no reason to still be like now it's a safe tile, but there wasn't a whole lot of reason to hold on to it before then. And Yuki obviously not holding on to it because it's a safe tile, because now toss it away to keep the red dragon. Like, I feel like this is, I feel like that just was slowing down the hand in a completely unnecessary way.
Right. Oh, and what is...
Yeah, Brittany Gap's waiting on the Souths and the...
Yeah, I think that Yuki hesitated there for a really long time. Or is he going to drop the 4-pin here? And, nope, he's not going to. That would not be very consequential. Just move the game along. But I don't think there's much that Yuki can do with his hand anymore.
No, there's not. Especially after breaking that 6, 7, 8, 9 shape by tossing the safe 8-mon. Although now has no safe tiles.
Right. Maybe we'll just drop these 2 Haku at some point.
Yeah, the 7-mon is Suji.
Right. To that 4-mon. Yeah, Suji to 2 players. We haven't had too many people going into Dama, so I don't know if that's too much of a concern.
Other than Watora. Watora has gone into Dama many times. This ramp, this set of icons, but
went into Dama usually. Right. Went into Dama waiting on the 1-mon early on. Went into Dama for a Sananko. Yeah. Somehow, it didn't really register with me. I was only thinking of the one time Watora went into Dama on the Pinfu. There's so many examples that they just overrode each other or something. Okay. So it looks like Yuki is still pushing here, just wanting to get into Tenpai.
The 6 and the 9-mon, are not safe, but certainly looked better than the 3 and the 4-pin did.
Right.
So is probably just trying to.
Right, and I think that is not quite. Oh, is he going to take this? That's not going to do it either. So yeah, I think that is Ishan 10, but it's going to have to drop the 5 or the 6 or the 3 or the 4 to achieve that.
Yeah, only has to drop 1 tile. Can call it B, or can make any of those a pair.
Right, but he passed on that Tenpai there.
Was there a Tenpai to take?
I think maybe not. Oh no, there wasn't. No, I'm sorry, my mistake. I was thinking that he could have dropped one of those incomplete blocks, but that wouldn't have been a Tanki wait.
Yeah. And so now a Tora dealer, and where we were thinking before. Do you want to sit? You want to sit behind him?
Yeah.
Where we were talking before, where Watora had this really nice lead, that Hanuman from Outsen really, really equalized everything. So now Watora would like to get a win, just to have any buffer whatsoever. Because right now, any win from Outsen puts Outsen ahead of Watora, basically. So,
but yeah, what Outsen really needs is for Watora to drop into 3rd, right? Would that do it?
I mean, there's a lot of score calculus going on once we really get into the weeds. I mean, if Watora is in 2nd, Outsen has very little chance. I think almost none.
Right.
But like I don't even know if 3rd is enough. Watora might need to be in 4th for Outsen. It's all according to the differences at that point. It's not as clear cut as like the difference between Yuki and Watora.
Right. So yeah, so definitely Outsin is going to be thinking, I need to target Watori here somehow. There's obviously not much you can do to affect that all the time. Just depends on having an opportunity. But maybe we'll see some of that come into play.
Yeah, Alson's hand developing in an interesting ways, as is Brittany Jap's.
Right.
I guess Brittany Jap kind of is closest to Cheetoy than anything else. Has 4 pairs and 1 triple.
Right. Yeah, I thought for a second this was 2 triples. That would make it much different. But yeah, could just call on Ishanten for Toy Toy, but it would be very hard to complete that.
Yeah, those are a lot of middle tiles there that you don't typically expect to come out. 1 Forso actually has already come out.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely I would be thinking Toy Toy would be very difficult with his hand. Cheetoy a more likely possibility. Oh, but going for Toy Toy. I guess potentially could become like simples, but you'd have to discard that entire triple there.
Yeah, which is unlikely. So I think she's going to end up going for just whatever Toy Toy comes.
Yep. Oh, and now went into waiting just on the Forso here, and this is just a simples hand. Just trying to get into, just thinking of Tempai probably. Yeah. Probably not really thinking there's much chance to actually win this.
Right. There's not a lot of likelihood that you win this hand, the Forso coming out late, but this hand can also be upgraded. A 6-so
right.
would allow this hand to take in a Dora, which would be nice.
Or this Champong weight, yeah. On the 5, 7, 8 mon. I don't know if that's really any better. I guess the 8 mon is a bit better. One of them has already come out. Oh, is this a chance to upgrade to the 6-9? That didn't take it.
Well, really, it would be an upgrade to the 3-6-9, but it'd be for a 10.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this is Sam Minshan block. But I mean, that was more points. That was more points than Toro would have gotten from winning, just from that everyone else being a no 10.
Oh yeah, I mean a 4,000 point gain on every other player is very good for Watora right now.
And very much not good for Outsin, who wants Watora to drop into at least 3rd, which is very possible with a big hit. But yeah, Watora would have to deal into something, I think, is the main limiting factor here. If Watora does not deal into anything big, then but Watora also has to push, because losing first place means losing, unless it's specifically to Outsin. So Watora is worried about losing to Yuki. Outsin is worried about Watora winning and not dropping to 3rd. And Brittany is just going to be pushing desperately here. Right.
The sorrow of being in a pretty distant last place.
Right. But there's still has a dealership left. Going to be the final dealer. So anything can happen here.
Watora has just an absolutely gorgeous hand. Outsin has a really good hand too. Outsin and Watora both have gorgeous hands.
Oh yeah. John Peiko? Is that possible here? Distantly.
Distantly possible. Outsin is far away. So I really like Outsin's hand. Ooh. Yeah, Alex to get rid of the perfect one away to hold on to that Dora.
Yeah, makes sense. Hoping to maybe get a direct hit on Watora here. that it has a significant value to it.
リーチにゃ
Oh, but then Yuki reaches, and I wonder how much Watora is going to push against that here. With this hand, it seems... Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, if you're Watora, you can see almost all of the Dora. You have two of the Dora Formon, and one of the others is in the discard.
Right.
You have one of the Dora Forpine, and two of those are in the discard. So
Right.
you know that your hand is more valuable than Yuki's at this point.
Right. So I think this is very difficult because, well, it doesn't matter now,
リー
but
チ発ドラネ
being
コ
so near the end of the game and so close to a position change to outsing. But not to, so it might be better to, well, it's very complicated push-fold mechanics going on here, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it would have been interesting had Watora had the opportunity to maybe draw more tiles to see how
Right.
that hand grew, but
Yeah.
and now we have Yuki and Watora very, very close to each other,
Mhm.
and no dealerships left for either of them. So
Yeah, this is the score is almost tied, and also the placements mean so much, and basically anybody out of these three here seem like a likely candidate for first. Outsin less so, but still can easily get first place depending on what happens with the Tora. So a very, very close game here compared to how we might expect.
ポンニャ
I wouldn't expect it to be this close after 3 Hanchan. Oh, and dealing in? Is that live? Yeah. Just Yuki and Dama there
ニャンプ
with a
ド
couple
ラネコに
Dora. I didn't see that was the case.
yeah, me neither. I was digging through the hands directly in front of us. That does put Yuki in first.
Yep. So now, now it's looking very good for Yuki. But whoever wins this hand could end up taking first place, I think, potentially.
Yeah, we're in a situation where if Watora wins, I think really because it's a 1,200 point difference, not 1,200. No, yeah, 1,200. Since it is a 1,200 point difference, I think we can basically consider it. If Watora or Yuki wins this hand, they win overall.
Right.
If Allison wins this hand, if it's a sumo, Yuki wins. If it's a Ron, it's based on who gets wronged.
Right.
And then if Brittany Jap wins, then obviously things just continue along.
Yeah.
But basically any win for either Yuki or Watora guarantee them first place overall for the tournament.
Right. And I think Brittany Jap definitely the underdog here, but obviously has the chance just to abuse this dealership and wring it dry and get all the points and win first place.
Yeah, getting those easts was definitely something that she needed.
Mm-hmm.
To build a hand. I mean, at this point, when you're this far behind, you just need to win as many of whatever hands as possible. You don't care if they're 1,000 points, 16,000 points. You just have to keep on winning for forever anyway. So
And speaking of that, just went for the slightly less efficient Sanshoku here. In Ishan 10 for a 3-Han Sanshoku hand.
yeah, and Yuki probably looking like he has a very big advantage at this point, but that hand's a mess.
Yeah. Everyone's scared of him. Oh, and now Brittany Jap and Tenpai waiting on the 3-pin, which could very easily come out of Yuki's hand.
Absolutely. I mean, something's got to come out of Yuki's hand.
Yeah, he's got to drop one of those 4 tiles that are completely unrelated. And I wonder what Yuki's doing here. Is this just a massive bluff? And why is he bluffing if that's the case?
Yeah, I think it has to be a bluff. But I don't think it's a very useful bluff.
Yeah, that's what I'm confused about.
Because literally no one at the table can fold. No one. Oh, Yuki got so freaking lucky pulling in the 4-P.
Yeah, that was the one tile that keeps him from immediately dealing in and Oh, and is Outson gonna drop this 3 or gonna drop a 2? Drops the 3.
ロンニ
But that, yep. Just a 3-Han hand. That keeps the game going.
That keeps the game going, and again, I just can't. Just so Yuki getting so lucky to pull in just of all the 4 tiles to pair up with something happens to be up the team like.
Yeah, and Outson's starting off with the 3 Chun there. I wonder if he's thinking at this moment, like maybe I can get Sananko or something like that, because he needs a high value hand. That Yakuhai is not going to do it.
Yeah, and at this point, I think we can pretty handily say Outsen cannot get first. There is not enough of a turnabout that Outsen would have to hit Watoro with the Yakuman directly.
Would a direct hit with a Hanemon wouldn't do it?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Right, so yeah, it looks like Outsen is just trying to end this now. I mean, he could draw like 3 Dora West or something.
But Brittany Jap as well has. I mean, Brittany Jap has a quick hand. Watora has a quick hand.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and just getting this 3-sided weight. So yeah, Brittany Jap is going to continue on as dealer. It looks like to me. We'll
this
see.
This isn't a 3-sided weight.
It isn't 2, 3, 4, 6. Oh, it's I see. I'm showing off that I can't always read these montiles that well. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. I thought it was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just glancing at it.
Watora Tenpai waiting on the 1-mon or the 4-mon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is this 8-mon gonna come out? No. Going for a toy over here.
Yep. Which
just keeping the game going. So now it's looking a lot more like Brittany Jap has a chance.
Yeah, and that helps Yuki a ton too. So now Watora basically needs a Mongon to get first here.
Mm-hmm.
Hit anybody with a Mongon, or do a Mongon sumo, or hit Yuki directly with 3 Han.
Mm-hmm.
Would all be enough.
Yeah, so this has this has gotten a lot closer than it was even at the beginning, and it was already pretty close. Well, except for now, Outson is out of it, but I mean, Outson could. The more Brittany Jap wins, the more chances Outson has to put together a double Yakuman or something.
This is true.
Double Yakuman don't count in the tourney. I'm just
right. A single Yakuman would be enough for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And Yuki now having a much more valid hand to attempt to end this with.
Right. Maybe was that bluff in order to try and make Brittany Jap win a cheap hand? Maybe maybe he sensed that Brittany Jap was going to win, or did Brittany Jap open early on the Easts? Maybe.
No, I just think it was a 100% pure gamble. I think it was just a pure gamble that had no actual merit.
All right, going for the deciding between maybe was tempted by waiting on the south there.
Yeah, but I think you have to take the side weight, especially since nobody can fold. Again, nobody can fold, so you just take the better weight because it doesn't matter.
Yuki immediately draws a south. Oh well, it happens. The backfire. Sometimes it just happens at the most comedic time. It's not
a backfire yet, for what it's worth. It's only a backfire if Yuki doesn't win this hand, which Yuki is still in prime position to win this hand.
Right.
I don't think I would have called a con there. That, especially with Watora having opened their hand, calling the con and giving Watora an easier path to a Mongon, I think is not something you want to do.
Right, yeah. Oh, like with Sumo ends it. Maybe wanted to con for flow. Maybe that worked out. But yeah.
Like it's the Sumo. So that means that Yuki will win the tournament.
Yeah. That ending with a Yakuhai only hand. It's a great way to end the tournament.
Yeah, and I can leave those scores up, so I don't have to open my phone. Let's see. Read them. What did Batora get?
Got 32,800.
God, not that. Give me the.
Wait, was this not the latest one?
No, I want the. I needed the other scores. Go to home. Click home.
It'll take a second.
Chat.
Oh, you need these Uma.
Yeah.
So
I need.
So Watora has 7.8.
Okay. 7.8. Yuki.
27.8.
27.8. Pretty chat.
Minus 28.7.
Minus 28.7. And then Outsen.
Minus 6.9.
Minus 6.9. And those do add up to 35.6. Yep. All right. So that means that the final scores here. Yuki won the tournament with 52.6.
Right.
Watora came in second with 39.1. Mm-hmm. Outsen came in third with negative 10.6, and Brittany Jap ended up in fourth with negative 12.1. So out of the 24 contestants, here are our top four. Congratulations, especially to Yuki mm-hmm. for pulling off that win in the final Hanchan. And thanks to everyone who participated. It was a very fun tournament. I feel like it was a very successful first tournament for us.
Right. And we learned a lot of things. Yeah, thanks to all 24 people who participated. And especially in these lovely finals. These were very exciting finals. Came right up to the last game here. And Brittany Jap almost pulled off an upset, but not quite. Just didn't manage to get a Mangan in that last hand. So thanks a lot, everybody. And I think we can... is there anything else we need to say before stopping the stream?
Nope, I'm done. Thank you for streaming with me, Bill. It was a good time.
All right, thanks for joining me, Ennui, and taking the lion's share of the commentary, making good comments. I appreciate it. So I'll go ahead and end the stream. Bye, everybody.